Well, hello, my lovelies, my lilies, my lads, my lows, my sugars, my moonflowers, my sugar lilies, my moon pumpkins, my pumpkin patch. No, in the garden? Really? A pumpkin patch? Why not? Why not? I think anything goes. Well, almost anything goes in the garden. Well, after this ain't gonna be. This is not gonna be a long one tonight. We did a real long one yesterday, and that about took Tyrone, like, sucked all his, well, spirit energy out. But we're gonna do a little bit of one, not as a short one, guys, short one, right? All my babies, where we at, babies? Hey, babies, look where we're at, right there. Oh my God! Thanks to some help, we getting real close, my lovelies. Hey, get your t-shirt making machine. Get your printing press out, baby. From 1907. That's right, a printing press. Oh, my God. How much do you think that would weigh? About 3,000 pounds, baby. Oh, my God. Tyrone, love you. Anyway, what are we doing? What are we doing, Master Nature? What are we doing tonight? Well, it's not going to be definitely as long as the one from last night, that's for sure. But I wanted to kind of now, guys, this is mud. This is mud. I'm just going to be brutally upfront. It's mud. It's just a theory. It's not really connected to any. I mean, it's not really connected to. Yeah. It's just a theory. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a little bit muddy. It is. Gotta say it. Because we just don't know. We just don't know. Hey. What's coming up, though? Hey, real quick. What's coming up? There's something coming up, I think. 6/18, baby. Keep your eye open for that. 6/18, we got a hearing coming up to talk about a lot of things, I'm guessing. Like, gee, what do we do with the trial? What do you think that Potato Hitler's gonna do? What do you think he's gonna do? Do you think he's gonna delay it? Or do you think it's gonna be like, F you defense, F you BK the Lone Wolf. We going full steam ahead. It don't matter. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking October, baby. October. That's when we're going to see it. All right. So here's what I was getting into. Now, this is not a confession, all right? I want to make that clear. I'm not saying we hear any type of confession, like the normal definition of confessing in a crime. No, there's not that at all. Just making that clear. However, reading through the prime statements, God, and that, I tell you what, reading through those statements again, guys, is so irritating and frustrating. It literally gives you a headache trying to piece together any coherency. I mean, it's just so irritating. I mean, it's like, just speak normal so I can understand what you're saying. Nah, I don't know. But look, you're interviewed 5 times. I would love to hear these. Oh my God, what I wouldn't give to hear these interviews. Oh my, and the rest of you, I imagine, as well. Oh my God. I can only imagine what those interviews must have been like. I mean, either you're pulling your hair out. Now, again, if this was a real investigation, we're not picking somebody up because they may or may not have bushy eyebrow. Give me a fucking break. That's another irritating detail in reading through that stuff. Anyway, yeah, PCA. We're going to get you because you have a bushy eyebrow. That's essentially what happened. So, if you guys don't know, I'm sure most of you already know that shit, but just saying. He fit the description based on one bushy goddamn, may or may not be bushy, by the way. Anyway, That's a whole. Oh my God. Stanley comes out real quick when we go there. But anyway, Stanley. Anyway. All right. So anyway, yeah, interviewed 5 times. Again, I'm thinking if this was a real investigation, you're pulling your hair out. Oh, yes, you are. If this was a real investigation, I wonder what the real investigators would be thinking sitting across from the prime. I wonder what their thoughts would be, you know? Just imagine that. Imagine that you were in the interrogation room asking her questions. Like, you're a real investigator, right? This isn't some bullshit scam we're seeing in Idaho. I'm just saying, what would you ask her? Like, seriously, think about it. And again, there's portions of her statements in the documents where they do talk about her psychological state. All right? Now, as a real investigator, certainly, yes, you definitely want to know what her psychological state was. Oh my God. Especially if you got her pinned. Because she's like, you know, she didn't get unalived. How did you live? Same with the Hobbit. How did you live? Right? You got the big bad wolf in your house. How did you live? I don't know. Don't know. I was thinking, now this is off topic, guys. It goes back to something else. It's off topic. Where I do think Ethan is definitely one of the targets. I was flip-flopping a little bit in my mind about whether Kaylee or Maddie was the other one. I was flip-flopping because I don't know. Because if Maddie is attacked before Kaylee, no, I'm sticking with my... See, I flip-flop a little bit here and there with who was the target here. And I'm sticking with Kaylee. Because there's 2. Again, there's 2 that go upstairs. There's 2. At least. The third one, too, could also be up there. But I personally think one of them is still downstairs. I don't know what they're doing. There. They could be, now at this point, they could be messing around with Ethan. Yes, again, gruesome, right? In a way, right? But that's what happens. Hey, it's a gruesome crime, right? We should expect this. But anyway, so who knows what the one downstairs is doing? Could be messing around with the bodies of X and E. Who knows? Moving them around. Whatever. You know, and then I'm starting to think, you know what? When I was reading more through the documents again, I was thinking, you know what? What if X was unalived in the bathroom? Isn't that where the prime heard crying, supposedly? Right? If you buy what she says. Difficult to do. But what if she was unalived in the bathroom, right across from her room? I mean, that's possible. Does it really change anything? No, because we're still moving her. It doesn't matter. We're still moving her into her room or just throwing her on the floor. Whatever we're doing, well, again, we don't know 100%. She could be laying outside of the bathroom door. Who knows? Nah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. No. I think she's put back in the bedroom. I think she's put on the floor in the bedroom. That's what I think. And yeah. And I don't know. E is on the floor as well, on the other side of the bed, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. All right, let's go. This ain't gonna be long. All right, so you're interviewing her, right? You're a real investigator, and you're interviewing her, and you're getting into her psychology. Who is she? What's she about? What kind of person is she, right? Now, if you think she's a suspect, which you should at this point in the game, you definitely should have her be a suspect, of course, and Bethany, if you're a real investigator. Anyway, but apparently that it didn't even appear that way, that they even considered them suspects at all. It doesn't even appear that way, based on at least what I know, at least what I've seen, right? You guys seen. But there's portions that, okay. One. Okay, how do I? All right. One. I had scary. I'm sorry. I have scary, lucid dreams where I'm being chased, and or stalked, and or whatever, but chased, ever since I was what did she say? I think she said ever since I was 16. Yeah. So I have, and I've had them ever since I was 16 years old. Okay? Where I'm being chased. I have these really messed up, scary, lucid dreams where I'm being chased and other things, right? Ever since I was 16 years old. Okay. Right? What else do we know about her? Now we're getting in, right? You're going to want to know that. What's in her mind? What does she think about? And then it's the night of, the day after, and then we get more of, she says, the prime says, I usually know when what's a dream when I'm dreaming and when I'm awake, essentially, is what she says. But on that particular night, she doesn't know what was a dream or what was real. And I translate that. Now, this is not a confession, guys, okay? I'm not saying it's a confession, but we're hearing like what we're gonna call undertones. Okay? We're gonna call them undertones. Undertones of something. I'm not gonna call it a confession, but it's undertones of wanting to, I think, say what I'm hiding. Okay? Now I'm gonna put it that way. There's almost undertones of guilt. And you can interpret that maybe guilt because, she survived. I'm in the context I'm speaking of guilt in the sense that I actually was part of this, that I actually participated in this. And just saying. Again, totally wrong, could be, whatever. It's my world, baby. It's my theory. But I don't know. So that particular night, I don't know what was real or what was a dream. But usually I'm pretty good at discerning the two. Sometimes, maybe. If I'm not psycho, if I'm not psychotic, if I'm not having hallucinations, right? Or I'm not having delusions. Maybe on a good night. I don't know. But yeah. So being a good investigator that you are, you're going to ask this question. You're going to ask her, So are you saying that what you did that night, right? So you're saying, so are you saying what you did that night, you can't distinguish if it was real or if it was imaginary? That's what I would ask. Tell me what you feel is real and what wasn't real about that evening. Okay? I want to know in her what her mind is doing, what her mind is trying to interpret. That's what I'm wanting to peg. Where's her mind at? Is she in Never Never Land, right? Like, even sitting in front of me now after things have happened, like a week later, let's just say, is her mind still in the forest somewhere? You know, she's still psychotic. I mean, who the fuck knows? Now I can cover that up and say, well, now I'm traumatized. See? That's an easy cover, actually, now, which is kind of irritating, just saying. It's irritating. You know, now I can cover up my psycho shit now and say, well, it's due to trauma. You're right? That's the catch-all. Now I'm traumatized, so all bets are off. Fuck that. Anyway, so tell me, Miss Dillon, your actions that night, what was real to you in your behavior that night? What was real and what was a dream to you, Miss Dillon? That's what I would ask. And then when you go back and you read the documents, I'm interpreting like this. I don't know what I don't know what I did that night. I can't tell you what I did that night was either a dream or if it was real. My behavior. I can't tell you if my behavior was a dream or if my behavior was real. Guys, that's fucking scary. Okay? When you think about people who commit crimes like this, maybe not to this degree, okay? I mean, this is a gem in a gem. You know, you may think this kind of crime is common, and I would probably too at some point, but this is a gem. You don't see this. You don't see types of crimes like this very often. I mean, it may seem like that because of all the bad news, right, that we hear every goddamn second of the day. But no, this is a gem, baby. You know, not to be sick, but it's a diamond in the rough, okay? And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying it's rare. All right. So, all right. So that's scary to me, you know? If you can't distinguish between what you did that night, what was real and what was not, that's scary to me. And as an investigator, a real one, I'm going to be like, oh, wait a minute. What if... oh, by the way, hey, did you have friends over? You know, those are the real questions. But, no, hey, who were the other two with you? You know, I would hit her with this. Hey, well, we're talking to at least two others right now about what happened, and as we're talking to them as we're talking to you, Miss Dillon, and it's kind of strange because they keep bringing your name up. I would hit her with something like that, even though I may totally be lying to her. It don't matter. I can lie. I could say, well, we're talking to two others right now who we think might be involved in this. And it's weird because would they have any reason to bring your name up? That's what fucking I hit her right between the fucking eyes with that question. Fuck you. Fuck you, Prime. Right between the eyeballs. Anyway. So, yeah. So, All right. And I'm gonna show you little bits and pieces, and then we're gonna call it a night. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I found this part interesting, and this is just a snippet of stuff. I may do again. I'm probably gonna do a second one, a follow up to this. I wanted to give you a little taste, though. So this is the state's response to defendants, motion against the witness identification by bushy eyebrows. Okay, this is the state's response. And there's some interesting nuggets in their response about the prime. All right, so this is November 17th. So we're talking what? 4 days after the murder. No, I'm sorry. No. My apologies. November 17th, 2023. That's what is written here. So a year and 4 days after the murder, supposedly, that's what's written there. Now, that could be a mistake, but she relayed to investigators she was suffering from trauma, the great cover, and was unsure of what is real or not. See, now it switches from past tense. It switches two different time periods here, and that's why I'm thinking this was a mistake. That's a typo. But anyway, I don't know if I was still drunk. Now, you're not going to be still drunk from 2022, right, guys? So either it should be November 17th, 2022, or whoever fucking wrote this doesn't know how to write a story. Because you're not going to be drunk a year later. So look, right? She admitted many times she was probably still intoxicated. I don't know if I was still drunk. Probably was. Probably was. That flippant C-U-N-T. Probably was. I don't know for sure. See, I read flippancy here, man. I get pissed when I read this shit because, and then I hear her voice on the 911 call. I'm like, you are so fucking flippant. You know that? You are so fucking flippant, aren't you? Anyway, probably was. I don't know for sure. Again, drunk and tired. No, I was really asleep. Okay. I like qualifiers again up my ass. Woke up out of nowhere. Really? After putting a 3:51 a.m. contact in your phone. And if it's true, I just saw a good video. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I woke up out of nowhere, and I was obviously, well, I don't know. How would we know, Miss Prime? We don't know. I was obviously, who are you talking to? Nobody knows how. You're the only person who knows. I was obviously probably still a little bit drunk. I just woke up. I don't remember fully. Admittedly, the prime made statements such as, I believe I was also very drunk. I don't know how much of this was real. My behavior. I don't know how much of my behavior was real. That's scary. I don't know if my behavior, my mind, was doing whatever. Okay? What does that mean? See, guys, psychotic. That's why I keep saying there's a psychosis here, guys. We're not just talking about somebody who's drunk, okay? We're talking about somebody who is either doing some sort of hallucinogenic, right? Consistently, or we're talking about somebody who has some type of underlying psychosis. I'm dead serious. It always goes to dream or real. But we're just drunk, for Christ's sake. Look, I could be talking to you right now, totally hammered out of my mind, but I still know what I'm doing. I know this is real, right? I could be totally smashed, but I know this is, I know what reality is. I know I'm talking to you right now, through doing a video. I'm not that gone. So either she's, again, or she's, I'll give it that. Maybe she's on a very strong hallucinogenic, okay? But why not just fucking say it? Why not say it? Just say, look, I was drunk. I did some mushrooms or whatever. I did some acid. I dropped a couple of tabs of acid. You know, you know, I dropped. I just dropped some acid. I was out of it. Things to I don't know. See, I could buy that then. I could buy that. Okay, well, I mean, it would have to be some strong acid. It would have to be some real powerful hallucinogenic because, I mean, depending on how much you're doing, you're still going to be able to decipher reality. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the drug takes you completely out of reality. I mean, maybe if you're doing like 50 hits of it, I don't know. I've never done that much, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be some powerful hallucinogenic where you totally lose your mind and you are totally, totally not sure if what you're experiencing around you is a dream or not. That's it. It would have to be powerful enough for that. Anyway. Okay. I don't know what my mind was like doing whatever. I don't know any of it, right? Like half of the stuff, I don't know if it's a dream or if it's real. My behavior, guys. She's talking about her behavior. I'm not saying, look, this is not a confession, okay? But there are undertones here, right? Do you get that? Or is it just me? But do you sense any undertones of, hey, I kind of want to tell you stuff, but I'm not, This is my behavior. I don't know what's a dream or what's real. I just have no clue. But the investigators told the prime, okay, they only wanted her to focus on what she knew was true. Okay, she agreed. Of course she agreed. Whatever that means. All right. Then they try to make the case where there's no more variance in her descriptions of the bushy eyebrows and all this nonsense. All right. All right. By the way, it's okay. I'm going to help you. Okay. You know what I interpret that to be? To me, that is one of the other associates who's jealous of Ethan. He's saying that to Xana. By the way, that's my interpretation of that. Whether he means that or not, I don't know. She may be already at that point too far gone, okay? Just saying. If the person who, well, in my theory, Ethan is one of the targets. Jealousy, rage, okay? Now, if there's jealousy with the girlfriend, maybe the perp is like, hey, it's okay, I'm going to help you. In a sick way, maybe that's what they're trying to express. Like, no, I'm not here to do this to you, that kind of thing. Anyway, that has nothing to do with it. Just wanted to point that out. All right. One more before we go off to the great beyond, the great sleep. The prime stated the male was approximately 3 feet from where she was standing. I would say about 3 feet from what I remember. Again, that could be me. No. Again, that could be me. No. Again, that could be off. Because I obviously probably still a little bit, what's the key word? Drunk. I just woke up. I don't remember fully. Again, she described the male. I know he looked at me because I could see his eyebrows. I think I just saw one eyebrow. I don't know why or how. We're stuttering now. We're stuttering a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is the kind of crap. Like this, when reading it through it again, it's just so irritating how ridiculous this is. It's just so ridiculous. He's 3 feet from you, and he doesn't unalive you, for Christ's sake. Anyway, if you're a real investigator, guys, you're going to be hitting her. You're going to be hitting her with, well, how comes, other people are, they're putting your name out there? Why is that? Well, if you don't know what was real and what was a dream, how do you know that you may not have something to do with this, right? When you hit her with that too. Well, if you're not sure what your behavior was that night was real or a dream, well then how do you know for certain that you weren't a part of this, right? Now you think about that question and you think about the statements about her mind and what her mind was doing or what she didn't know what she was doing, right? All that not all this crazy. And you think to yourself, "Wait a minute. If she doesn't know what she was doing, then how does she know that she didn't participate?" Cuz then you say, "Well, how do you know you didn't participate?" And then what is she going to say? "Well, of course I didn't." No, you can't. No, that's not an answer. Well, how do you know you didn't participate? Well, I would remember that. Oh, well, you don't remember anything else, right? And you keep giving conflicting statements. So how do you know which statement is correct or not, Miss Prime? How do you know what you're telling me is correct or not? If you can't discern reality from fantasy. Oh my God, guys. How people cannot think that the prime is good old Miss DM, I have no clue. But anyway, that's going to be it. It really turned out longer than I was expecting. Holy crap, guys. Holy shit, guys. Shitball, guys. All right, listen. Listen, guys. Listen, guys. Tyrone love you. Master Nature love you, of course. DM love you. Not DM. DM don't love you. Oh, you kidding me? MD love you. Um, and of course, well, you know, Stanley. Stanley doesn't love you, but he understands what your purpose is. All right, baby. All right, listen. Tyrone love you again. We drift off into great sleep tonight, just for the night. Just for the night, babies. Hey, remember, pleasant dreamscapes, loves. They could be whatever you want. Just make them pleasant for yourself. Okay. Tyrone love you all. Okay. Good. Get a good night's rest, babies. Okay. I love you, lilies and moonflowers and dudes and rainbow sugars and sugar cookies and princess unicorn, rainbow lily. And oh, you didn't. Oh, I snuck that one in there. All right. Bye, bye, babies.